How's it going, everyone? Paul here for Technique Tuesday. Today we're going to be working on toes to bar and how to get your single toes to bar into successive multiple reps. Today we're going to be looking at our lady Mel, who just the other day after our toes to bar workout was able to figure out with a little bit of coaching how to get those toes to bars linked together in successive reps for the first time. So we're going to look at the setup for both of them and then what kind of happens between the two to show the difference in good connected reps and kind of the slower ones where you have to kip up, get the toes to hit the bar, and then stop on the bar, reset the kip, and do those in that kind of slower fashion. So let's go ahead and take a look at what all happens here. So in this setup, you can see that the initial setup looks about the same. Nothing is really changing, or nothing is really much different. There's a good pull of the upper back. There's an arch in the upper back, slight arch in the back, and then in the hips and legs are all pulling back, creating a nice, very obvious arch position, just like we're doing hollow and arches on the floor. So on both sides, you can see that good arch that Mel is setting up. Everything from the hands to the toes is engaged in this movement. The next phase is going to be that flying into that hollow position. So you can see here as Mel moves into the toes going to the bar, you can see that everything looks good in this position. She has a very balanced kip up to this point. So you can see that the arms and the lats, everything is connected and creating one tight body working together. The angle from the arms to the torso, you can see that right there is how you tell the lats are involved. And then in the hips and the legs, you can tell obviously those are all involved on both sides. So up to this point, nothing has really gone wrong. It's going to be this next phase now, which is going to be the downswing, is where things change, and it determines whether or not you're going to be able to link reps or you're going to be doing those staggered singles. So let's go ahead and take a look at the next phase. The legs come down, and remember that on this setup, the Mel on the left side is the side that has the singles, and this side is going to have the connected reps. So now, what's going to happen is on the downward swing, you can see that the Mel on the left, the feet come straight down, and just entirely kill the momentum. So she's gone back to just essentially like a dead hang. And then from there, she has to reset the tension and pull back into another hollow position and go into that next, the next arch position to go, as you can see, into another toes to bar. So she's not having to drop off the bar, but she has wasted a ton of time. As you can see, just from scrolling through the time bar, the future Mel, which has learned toes to bar, is already on her next rep. Or she's on the way down from the next rep, a lot faster. So let's go ahead and rewind and see what the difference was that happened. So here they are on that first rep, the toes hit the bar. Now the Mel on the right has done a big arch. Again, initially just reset and is bouncing back into that next rep. So actually I was wrong. The Mel on the left had already done 3 toes to bar in the time it took the other Mel to do 2. So what mainly happens, the area that needs to be fixed in order to get that next level up is on that downward swing. When those feet drop below the hips, your initial movement from there, so once the feet pass that line of kind of the hip level, the feet come down, the feet immediately have to be pulling back, and the hips and the chest have to go forward to create the movement into that next arch position, which is going to create the power to then immediately go back into that toes to bar. So we want to go back to this hollow or this arch position as quickly as we can, because that is going to be the power position to then bring the feet back up to the pull-up bar. And you see how Mel very easily swings back up into it because Mel was in that camp of people that have the strength to do the toes to bar. It's just more the coordination of being able to link those movements together. So let's go ahead and take another look at this in kind of full speed, side by side. So we'll go back to the beginning. There we go. Here's Mel setting up. So now let's look at this full speed. So toes hit, one Mel pulls right into the next movement with her upper body, whole body, and bounces right into that next rep. Whereas the Mel on the left You can see at full speed, it's easier to see that she actually stops herself at the bottom. And instead of just following the momentum and pulling in to that arch position, she has to then stop, balance, reset, and go into the next one with a lot more manual force. So remember that the main moral of the story for today on these toes to bar is that if you have the strength to easily get your toes up to the bar, on the way down you need to follow the momentum, and as soon as those feet come down past the hips, start pulling the bar behind you, pushing your chest through, finding that arch position, and then engaging and going right into that toes to bar. And this will get you through a lot more reps, a lot quicker come toes to bar testing day. And remember, when you get your first set of toes to bar, you'll be just as happy as Mel here. Thanks for coming in for another Technique Tuesday, guys. I'll see you next time.